So how is the Avalon housing market?
Recovering from a real slump, and prices have dipped. This was a significant spike in prices and a pretty significant readjustment. Also, we're probably priced at about 2002, 2003. Probably the strongest thing about the Avalon Stone Harbor market is we don't have the inventory issues that some areas have. When you see the national headlines that say the real estate market still falling, it's a good time to buy between the fact that there are some sellers that are ready to negotiate, and the interest rates are incredible. The interest rates are historically low. So get into this market.
Are the prices still going down, or are they going up now?
Yes. But mostly, actually, our typical buyer now is granddad.
Oh.
Assuming that, if I had one fellow say to me, if I build a new house in Bucks County, nobody's coming. If I build a new house in Avalon, they're all coming. So, and which is why they're building some of the big houses. They have 2 master suites. They expect the adult children to be down and bring their crew, and that's probably pretty true with what I see among my buyers.
So there's a house on 17th Street that's for sale that just went up for $799.
Right.
And that's a rancher.
Right.
And there's one behind it on 16th Street that went up for sale. That's a prefab, I think, 3 stories.
Okay.
And that's for 1.7.
Right.
Are they priced differently because of the style of the houses?
Older ranchers now, in many cases, are considered land value.
Mm-hmm.
People will look at that and say, okay, I can use it for a couple of years, but I'm going to take it down and build a big house. So $800,000 in the 100 block is probably lot value now. So you, as a buyer, look at that and say, is the other house priced right? Is it worth $1 million more for the finished new product? That's the question you ask yourself as a buyer.
Do most people live in the houses they buy, or do they want to build new houses?
It depends. There's a huge group of buyers we're seeing now that want the house they can use for 2 to 5 years, and they'll fix it up a little bit, but you can't afford to do too much to it if you're going to knock it down in 5 years. So they look for the usable house, control the land, and then build in a few years. And it takes a couple of years to get the architect and the plan and get it right.
Is Avalon renting more to families, or is it to 20-somethings, single 30s, groups of friends?
The bulk of our rentals are still families. We're not seeing as much of the Animal House type rentals. Spotty here and there, and Memorial Day just passed, and we identify them usually on Memorial Day. But 95% of our rentals are mom and dad and the 2 kids, or the brothers-in-law or sisters-in-law renting the big house together. And the big 3-story houses are big enough for the 2 families to get away from each other and be together. So.
What's the hottest house to get on the island right now? What's the best house for sale, the best deal that's on the market?
Actually, it's so funny you mentioned that on 17th. I've had a lot of response to that. I send out a weekly email with the new listings, and I got the most calls and most hits this week on that one. The hottest house is the hottest house in the category you're looking for. So somebody says to me they want to be in the West Block, they want a good value in the West Block. If somebody says they want to be in the South End, they want. So it kind of shifts.
So what makes Avalon? What makes the Avalon market better than other markets?
The whole marketplace is driven by culture. If you've been to the Avalon Free Public Library, it's a 5-star library. It's a small library that supports everything. The Avalon Free Public Library supports the orchestra coming here, symphony orchestra 3 times a year. That orchestra has more doctors in it than most hospitals have. All these things make the home value in Avalon a better value.